Our hosts here include some 35 young people who are beginning summer jobs today. Raise your hands if you get beginning Sandra. Good. They'll be spending the next 7 weeks guiding visitors, working in gardens and greenhouses, and helping their own budding careers take root and begin to grow. Pun, pun. Thank you very much. Come on. In fact, this is the first day on the job at scores of cultural institutions across the city and community organizations and private companies across the city for something like 29,300 young people ages 14 to 24. If I look like I'm between 14 and 24, it's misleading. I'm not. Just slightly older than that. Seriously, they're all part of the city's summer youth employment program, and they make up the lion's share of the roughly 30,600 young people who are starting subsidized summer jobs and internships this week, and they include participants in a new summer job initiative. And tomorrow will be the first day at their summer jobs in the fast-paced, fast-growing world of information technology for 100 students in some of our career and technical education high schools. And they're taking part in a new Summer Scholars pilot program. It's supported by the Bank of America, which is represented here today by New York City Marketing Manager, Connie Verducci. Connie, there you are. And also new this year is a summer learning program for elementary and middle school students, and it's called NYC Summer Quest. And starting Monday, community-based organizations in the Bronx will give more than 1,100 students their 5 weeks of hands-on learning opportunity. NYC Summer Quest is designed to help students keep their academic skills sharp while also having fun during the summer months, and it will be a 3-year program in the Bronx. And if it's successful, as we all hope it will be, next summer we will look to expand it to other parts of the city as well. Now, these efforts are being supported by public and private funds. And as we did last year, this summer, the city is allocating $20 million to the Summer Youth Employment Program. The program is also being supported by $13.5 million in state and $6.1 million in federal funds. And the Mayor's Fund to Advance New York City and the Fund for Public Schools have also raised more than $6 million in private donations for summer jobs and summer learning this year. Lead supporters of the summer youth employment include the Walmart Foundation, the West Harlem Local Development Corporation, represented here today by its chairman, Donald Notice, and its executive director, Kofi Boatensi. And Goldman Sachs, another great corporate citizen, represented by Joseph Snodgrass of the firm's Office of Corporate Engagement. So thank you all to you, and where are you? There you are, hiding in plain sight. Additional support for jobs and internship initiatives come from more than 80 corporate and philanthropic sponsors, in addition to those that I've named today. This will take just too long to read them all, but they are listed in the press release that we are distributing today, and they all have my deepest thanks for doing what we need to help our city's young people this summer. And if you want to give them some business or write them a little note and say thank you very much, that's the ways to encourage them to do it again next year. So we should always say thank you. Let me point out that even with their help, the demand for summer jobs, which includes 132,000 youngsters who entered the lottery for summer youth employment programs, still far outruns our ability to provide them. And with many young people now struggling to find employment, these summer jobs are certainly very welcome. The income young people earn will help pay tuition bills, buy school clothes, and help families cover their monthly expenses. The summer jobs for young people also mean a lot to working families for another reason. About 40% of the summer youth employment program participants get placed in summer day camps and daycare centers. So the work means parents don't have to cut back on their own working hours to look after their children during the summer months. Research, including a recent New York University study, shows that students who work while still in high school tend to stay in school and do better on Regents exams and graduate at higher rates. They earn more as they move into their 20s as well, and sometimes summer jobs can really start you on a career path. And that was true for me. I had a summer job and then an after-school job at a small electronics firm as a teenager, and a supervisor there urged me to apply to Johns Hopkins to become an engineering student, and that certainly made a big difference in my life. And you know, it's like skiing. You can read a book on skiing, but you got to go put some miles under your skis if you're going to learn how to ski. And the same thing is true with working. You've got to get out there and actually do something and see how people interact and what the values are. And it's hard to describe what you learn, but there's no question you do learn an awful lot, and this really will help everybody. School's Chancellor Dennis Walcott is a strong supporter of summer jobs and summer learning as well. In fact, he took part in the city's summer youth employment program when he was a teenager himself. 5 years ago. I was going to say just a few years ago. So on that note, let me turn over the young Chancellor, Dennis Walcott.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's really a pleasure to be here this afternoon. I just want to pick up on a couple of things that the mayor talked about. I had the opportunity to be a summer youth employment worker way back in the 60s, and I'm a guy from Queens. All the jobs that I had prior to my summer youth experience were basically little neighborhood jobs in Queens, which were really invaluable. But the Summer Youth Employment Program provided me an opportunity, as a matter of fact, to work for a newspaper that's represented in this room. And so traveling into Manhattan, the ability to work with people who I did not know, to interact, to learn how to follow orders, learn how to do things, no matter how menial they may be, was an invaluable opportunity for me to learn, to grow, and become a productive adult. The second summer youth employment job that I had was at a bank. Again, an opportunity that I had not experienced before, and it provided a great foundation for me to, again, learn a different skill set, to find out what I was good at and some of the things maybe that I was not good at. The Summer Youth Employment Program, to me, was something that has benefited me. As the mayor indicated, it benefited him. You'll hear from Jeannie, it benefited her as well. This year, we're doing something totally different than that. We're expanding not just on the Summer Youth Employment Program, we're expanding it into making sure that it's summer youth experiences. And so as the mayor indicated, we're adding a component where we have students who are here from our career technical education schools who will have job placements aligned with the IT area. And in addition to that, last year, Jeannie and I were at a conference talking about summer learning loss, and we were somewhat embarrassed that we did not have a program in New York City that addressed that particular issue. So with DYCD, DOE, a number of funders who the mayor indicated, we formed a partnership with community-based organizations, and we're starting our Summer Quest program in the Bronx. And we're extremely excited about this program, where we have identified students at the elementary and middle school level who will be attending both a learning program as well as building in recreation and also addressing their social and emotional needs. We have 5 students who are here who I just want to highlight who will be part of our new CTE initiative, and they are Milo. Milo, raise your hand. Anthony, who is also here. We call her Irish for short, Irish, if you can raise your hand. And Philip from Grady. Philip is here as well. And we also have Tiffany, who is here in the back. And they will be part of a group of students who will be, I think, 100 students in total will be part of our new CTE experiences. So we have broadened our summer experiences to make sure we're looking at a variety of ways to employ our youth, to make sure they get the richness of New York City and providing that foundation to grow and become productive adults. So, Mr. Mayor, thanks to your leadership, our students will benefit in the long run. So thank you again. Appreciate it.
Dennis, thank you. Another young member of the administration is Jeanne Mullgrav, and she is the summer youth employment. She is a summer youth employment alum, so she's been there, done that, as they say, and now as commissioner for the Department of Youth and Community Development, she oversees the program. Jeanne, you want to say a few words?
Thank you, Mayor Bloomberg. It's really your leadership and commitment to youth workforce development programs that is the reason that we have 30,000 young people who will have a job in these tough times this summer. I also want to thank Chancellor Walcott, another staunch supporter of SYEP. As a former SYEP participant himself, he really knows firsthand the value of this program. I was in the program, but not in the same year. In fact, actually, just so you know, I wasn't even born when he was in the program. I want to acknowledge Congresswoman-elect Grace Meng, who's with us, and I know that it was her advocacy on the state level that led to that $13.5 million, and I know you'll do the same on the federal level as well. And as well as Councilmember Koo. And of course, a very, very special thank you to all of our private sector partners who've invested in New York City's young people. Your support is more important than ever in our effort to prepare youth for careers in fast-changing, high-skills economy. Supporting summer jobs is an investment that is sure to pay dividends for New York City in the decades to come. That's because if a teen works this year, she's more likely to work next year, she's more likely to increase her earnings over time, and less likely to engage in risky behavior. And now, as you heard the mayor mention, we also know that SYEP has a positive effect on high school attendance, which again underscores how important SYEP is. We all know that New York is home to talented, energetic, and resourceful young people who just need to get their foot in the door. If you have any doubts, just talk to all the young people who are here today. With the help of the Mayor's Fund to Advance New York City and dozens of private partners, we've raised more than $2.8 million from the private sector. This means 1,900 additional young people will get to work this summer. They will work at work sites across the city, including summer camps, parks, hospitals, museums, libraries, and of course right here at Queens Botanical Garden. And who knows, maybe among the 35 we'll see a future horticulturalist or landscape designer. And then they'll tell me what that means, because right. As the steward of the largest summer youth employment program in the country, DYCD has worked hard to make the program better for participants and businesses alike. Building on this foundation, we recently released a concept paper outlining our vision for the next iteration of the program, and we incorporated feedback from participants, employers, and nonprofit providers to create a new model that will meet the needs of our diverse youth. For example, rather than placing 14 and 15-year-olds in more traditional jobs, we'll develop placements where younger youth can practice their communication, critical thinking, and interpersonal skills. We also are adding more funding to vulnerable youth who are in foster care, juvenile justice systems, or may be disabled or homeless. And to prepare youth for the job market that awaits them, we're developing jobs in New York City's high-growth sectors, such as healthcare, retail, and hospitality. We know these improvements will lead to better outcomes for youth and keep SYEP on the cutting edge. But that's not all New York City's youth are up to this summer. Together with DOE and the Fund for Public Schools, DYCD is thrilled to be at the forefront of the city's effort to stem summer learning loss. The heart of Summer Quest is the strong partnership between schools and community-based organizations that will make summer learning fun, hands-on, and take advantage of the city's cultural riches. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "The sum of wisdom is that time is never lost that is devoted to work." I know that the time the city's youth spend in SYEP and Summer Quest will be time well spent. I thank you all, especially our partners.
Jeanne, thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce someone whose experience with summer jobs is a bit more recent. Charnel Creary was in a summer youth job program at Jamaica Hospital in 2010 and was a Ladders for Leaders summer intern at the city's tourism and marketing agency, NYC and Company as well. She also, you should know, just graduated from Hillcrest High School here in Queens, where she maintained, listen to this, a 98 grade point average. Charnel, was lucky to come up with half of that when I was in school. She'll be attending City College in the fall. Charnel, thanks so much for joining us today. It's all up to you.
Thank you, Mayor Bloomberg. Good afternoon, everyone. Applying to the Summer Youth Employment Program can be compared to buying a lotto ticket, as it feels like the odds of winning are 1 in a million. I thought that my application would be lost among the many, but thank God it wasn't, because just like every other youth who applies, I was looking forward to working, making my own money, and feeling independent. My first employment was through SYEP, where I was selected to work at Jamaica Hospital in the Health Information Management Department. Luckily, I was placed among great people who contributed to my wonderful experience. I thought filing was easy until I had to complete multiple binders. What I was able to take from that experience was that despite the position you're in, always do the best job you possibly can and have fun with it. The following summer, I participated in the Ladders for Leaders program. I learned to write a winning resume that landed me an internship at New York City & Company. I impatiently waited for the sun to rise every morning just to board the train to 810 7th Avenue, where there was always a warm and welcoming atmosphere. With the tools that I received from these youth employment workshops, I was able to enhance many skills and develop my characteristics. I was more organized and was able to prioritize and balance multiple meetings with my everyday assignments. Sometimes I would help out in the visitor center, where I was privileged to meet people from all over the world. The best part about this job was being able to learn a few languages. I have gained so much from the whole experience, being a part of SYEP and Ladders for Leaders to working at NYC & Company. My initiative and professionalism rewarded me the JP Morgan Chase Scholarship, where I will be starting my internship this summer. I would definitely encourage any youth, if at all possible, to get involved and take advantage of the career guidance that these programs offer. Although there is always room for improvement, I can truly say that I feel more than prepared for the corporate world. And for this, I would like to extend my gratitude to all who helped in making this possible. I just want to say a sincere thank you to the many sponsors of all NYC's youth employment programs. These youth programs have greatly impacted the lives of many, including myself. It's programs like these that propels excellence in the youth today. Thank you.